What was the true reality of Imperial Japan's occupation? Imagine a country driven by a desire to expand its borders and assert its power across Asia. That was the reality of Imperial Japan during World War II. Their goal was to become a major global power. They believed their empire needed more land, resources, and influence. This led to aggressive military moves across East and Southeast Asia. Japan's leaders wanted to challenge Western dominance and create a new order in Asia. They saw themselves as the rightful rulers of the region. Starting in the early 1930s, Japan began invading neighboring countries. They took control of Manchuria in 1931 and set up a puppet state called Manchukuo. This was the first step in their expansion. When World War II broke out in 1939, Japan saw an opportunity to grow even faster. They launched a full-scale invasion of China in 1937, capturing major cities like Nanjing. The occupation was brutal, with mass killings and widespread suffering. Japan also targeted Southeast Asia. They seized Singapore, Malaya, Borneo, and parts of the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia. Their military strategy focused on quick, surprise attacks to gain control of key ports and resources. They used their navy and air force to outmaneuver opponents. The occupation involved forced labor, often of prisoners of war and local civilians. They built infrastructure like the Burma Railway, which caused thousands of deaths. Despite early victories, Japan faced growing resistance. The occupation stretched their resources thin. They relied heavily on exploiting the territory's resources, especially oil, rubber, and tin. Their harsh rule created resentment and fueled resistance movements. The local populations suffered greatly under Japanese control. Ethnic Chinese communities faced purges and violence. Many civilians and prisoners endured forced labor and brutal treatment. Japan's expansion was also part of their alliance with Germany and Italy, the Axis powers. They coordinated strategies to challenge Western powers and the Soviet Union. Japan aimed to dominate the Pacific and Southeast Asia, securing vital resources for their war effort. Their strategy was based on swift attacks and establishing control quickly. But as the war dragged on, their supply lines became overstretched, and resistance grew stronger. After Japan surrendered in 1945, the occupation ended. The aftermath left a region scarred by violence and exploitation. Japan itself was occupied by the United States, which aimed to rebuild and democratize the country. The occupation of Japan lasted until 1952 and transformed their society. The true story of Imperial Japan's occupation is one of conquest and control, marked by harsh governance and human suffering. It reshaped Asia's political landscape and influenced global power dynamics during and after the war. Understanding this helps us see how strategies and ambitions of the Axis powers affected millions of lives and the future of the region.